Tom Hacksaw Colson had a 2008 Ford Escape Hybrid that lived a previous life working in photo radar. After using it for years car camping, Tom's car died right outside of Parker. Rather than tow it, Tom donated the car to Border Radio. If you'd like to donate your vehicle, running or not, visit borderradioaz.org/cars.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
On today's program, we are going to be joined first by Berenice Ortiz. She is the public relations representative for Transitional Living Center Recovery right here in Yuma. And we're going to be talking about Recovery Palooza, a major mental health awareness festival right here in Yuma, as well as Marci Sanchez. She is the incoming principal of Yuma High School. She's going to be sharing insight on student programs, career, and technical education, and how families can enroll and become a part of the school's long-standing tradition. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. You can also view our show on the Border Radio Facebook page and the KAWC YouTube page. And don't forget, you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
Chili from Philly. Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon. And Johnny, can we talk a little bit about the NBA playoffs to start?
Yeah, we will. I'm a little sad, but yeah, it is what it is. And a very tough team to beat, OKC. They reigning champions. It's they're just a better team.
Yeah, so the Phoenix Suns are officially out.
Yeah,
that's
they're
your
out.
team.
Did you guys see that or anything? You guys are kind of shaking your head, or you just heard about it?
I was sad, but they played really hard.
Yeah, and we're going to get these mics super close, so get really close to them. Oh, hers is not plugged in. We have technical difficulties, so don't worry. Anthony will come in and save the day. It's all good. This is live radio, and but anyway, Victor. So I watched the game last night. There was like flashes of that could happen. I was like, okay, yeah, I got really excited, but then I'm like, I better not get too excited.
Yeah, it was just too much for Phoenix to overcome, I think, the fact that they're playing the defending champions.
Yeah, did you watch any of it or no?
I did watch the game, yeah, and I was hoping that the Suns would get at least
one game.
But no, not even that.
Yeah, at least one game, but no, they didn't. But I'm proud of them. I'm proud of my Phoenix Suns, what they did. Nobody thought they were going to be this good, and I hope they keep Dylan Brooks and keep this team and just kind of, tighten up some things and come back next season. I can't wait for next season. Basketball is my favorite, so.
Same.
But same? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and that's it right there talking. That's Angel, and we have Berenice from TLCR, right? Did I get it right?
Perfect.
Yes, you did.
The Transitional Living Center Recovery.
That's right.
All right. So thank you. Yeah, good morning.
Everybody.
Thank you guys for being with us. And so Berenice, you are the spokeswoman, the press woman. You handle their media. Is that the case?
Yes. So my name is Berenice Ortiz. I am public relations / case manager at Transitional Living Center Recovery. Yeah, I handle all our social media platforms, and I like to engage in the community with other agencies and participants.
Okay. And then Angel, what do you do there? Do you keep her in check? Is that what your job is?
We keep each other in check.
Oh, okay. You keep each other. Okay, cool.
So my name is Angel Herrera, and I am the center manager at TLCR. So I just make sure the center is running smoothly and making sure all the members get all the help that they need.
All right. Okay. So we like to get to know our guests before we get into too much. Berenice, are you originally from here?
I am. I'm born and raised here.
Born
in
and
Yuma.
raised.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
Right on.
yes.
Yeah, I like that. So what hood did you grow up? Where did you grow up? What neighborhood?
8th Street and Avenue C.
8th Street and Avenue C. Okay. Okay. So what was it like growing up in Yuma?
Man, it was good and bad.
Good and bad,
the good is, Yuma's awesome, and it's a small, town, and you can get to places without having to jump on freeways. But the bad is the heat, man.
Oh,
It's
yeah, the heat was, yeah.
Man, it's just, but you know what? You get used to it. It starts growing on you after a while, and for us that are locals from here, we know right now the weather's pretty sweet right now.
It's nice. It's really actually like I go for a walk in the morning,
Yeah.
and the gentleman that usually I see around the track, he's like, it's kind of cold a little bit, He had a hoodie on, and it was like, we're going into May like this, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Even though we had that heat scare for a little while, right?
did.
And I think
We
it
did.
chased off a lot of the Canadians.
Yes.
But
It sure
but, yeah,
did.
it's nice. But okay, so
Yes.
growing up here, and did you ever think you'd be in public relations growing up?
No,
No?
not a chance ever thinking that was going to be the route. But I love it, and it's fun.
So what did you want to do when you were young?
Honestly, I wanted to be a meteorologist.
Oh, wow. We're talking about weather, and then there it is. Okay.
That was one of my first initial dreams. I wanted to work and chase tornadoes and all that
She
stuff.
still
I
does.
love it.
Chases storms all the
I
time.
do.
do you?
When I
Okay.
see a storm coming in, I get the car and get my girls. I'm like, let's go storm.
Vamonos. Let's
Vamonos.
go. Why? Why storms?
I just there's something about that weather, the dark clouds, like anything that's just out of what we are normally getting here. in
Because we
Yuma.
don't get a lot
Exactly.
of it, probably,
It's
right?
just-
And it's like
We have too much sun.
we have way too much sun.
Yeah.
I feel that way, right?
Yeah.
Because we have too much sun. It's like it's always nice when something's different. So then you fell in love with it.
I did. I love it.
Okay, so did you try to go to school for that or anything, or were you like?
I tried to go into the service, and then
Okay.
my mom. I was
So
you're still
you're
a
saying the
minor.
military?
Yes,
Okay.
I wanted to do all that, and then I was still a minor at that time, and mom was like, "No, I'm not signing you away," and that didn't go that way. But initially, after that, I wanted to go into the service.
Oh, okay. So then, what do you end up doing?
I ended up making a lot of poor choices.
Poor
in my life.
choices.
Yes.
Yeah, because and I'm kind of leading to this
Yes.
because I've seen you speak before
Yes.
at the coalition.
the Anti-Drug Coalition.
Yeah, and so I know a little bit about your
Yes.
story. If you don't mind sharing some of
Yeah.
it, kind of get into it. But you said that this was going to be a point, and then mom said no.
Right.
And then you said what?
I said, then I'm going to go and, I started hanging out with the wrong people.
Yeah.
And then, she ended up regretting later not signing me away. But you know what? I think it was probably the best decision that I at that point, that when it happened in my life, that could have
Kind of
taken it in.
interesting.
Yeah.
That because like the way you say that, because your life could have had a different
Yes.
trajectory
Yes.
going into the military. Instead, you got into some trouble.
Right.
But you're here now
Yes.
helping people stay away from trouble.
That is right.
Right?
Yes.
And you wouldn't be able to be here unless you got into that trouble and know what they go through
Absolutely.
so intimately.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then trouble, how long did trouble find you?
I was in trouble out there for about 19 years.
19 years.
my
Ay
life.
Dios mío. That's a long
Yes.
time. Yeah.
It was a long time. I mean, mind you, it took them a couple of tries to get me. I've been in and out of jail, but it's just, you finally get to a point in your life where you have that aha moment, and you just realize you're like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And that's when things just started to take a turn, and I made that decision in
Can
my
you
heart,
share
and
your aha moment?
Absolutely.
Was there like something that reaching rock bottom, or was it just like I'm tired, I still got energy to a degree, but it's like I don't know how much more I can take of this? Tell me a little bit about it.
That aha moment was me sitting in jail. Mind you, I had been in and out of jail several times prior to that, and this last one, when I really, the fog cleared and I really got to see and experience my kids are getting older, they know what's happening, they see it, and it was just having that realization within me that I was tired of living that lifestyle,
Yeah.
having to miss moments with my children. Like, I was that type of parent that was always there, but I wasn't there,
Yeah.
I was present like a body, but I wasn't there like, in my soul. And I was just like, like a robot, so to speak. So when
Yeah.
I figured that was not the way to live, and I started picturing myself as a grandmother and how I was going to hide this from my grandkids in the future, I knew something was wrong.
So that started
Yeah.
the light bulb went on,
Yes.
and you're saying, okay, I don't want this for the legacy, my
Yes.
family,
Yes.
for the future. I don't want them seeing this. And then you try to get creative ways of hiding it,
Yes.
or just knock it off.
Right. Pretty much.
So, and then knocking it off, was that like, what'd you do? What was it?
So,
like,
well-
you seek help or sought
So
help?
what
or?
ended up happening was, like, I had to go to jail, right? And I had to learn. I had to break it to my mom, and that was one of the hardest things for me to do because I lived a life of lies, and I was really good at
So
lying.
you really hit it.
I hid it for the longest
wow.
time, and having to break that, like, for every time I would land myself in jail, I would bring up a lie, and I would let them, and they would believe me, right? They would believe my lie, so I could continue with my lifestyle, right? So when I got sent to rehab, and the judge was like, "You're not getting out unless you get released to a treatment," I was like, "How am I going to lie about this? Like, how am I going to
Yeah.
cover this? So I had to have that moment, that conversation with my mom and my kids, and I told them, like, hey, like, your mom is an addict, You know, your mom is an addict, and from that moment, I promised him. I said, I'm going to turn this around, and I'm not going to sit here and give you guys a spiel. I said, I'm just going to do it.
You're just going to do it.
And that's just exactly what I did.
And you were like tenacious. You knew that this is it. I'm going to do it.
That was it, because I knew when I was inside of jail, I heard another individual talking about becoming a peer support. You know, and I'm like, what is a peer support? You know, and they were like, oh, you know, like you go to TLCR, and then you could go and you get this, you know, you do a 2-week class and you become certified and you could work there, because I'm thinking I'm a felon. How am I ever going to get a job here in Yuma? You know, and when I found out that there's a place out there that gives opportunities to felons, people like us, I was like, that's my only shot.
There it is.
I'm going to get it and I'm going to run with it.
Okay. So how about you, Angel? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Yuma, Arizona.
Oh, right here
I'm
too.
born and raised
All
too.
right. Awesome.
Yes.
So what hood? What barrio? Where were you at?
2nd Avenue, right down the street from the jail.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yep.
And you mentioned the jail. Did you spend time there?
I did about 5 times.
About
the
5
longest
times?
about 2 months.
Okay. And so what about you when you were younger? What was your dreams, or what did you want to do?
So I always wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
I did work in daycares for quite a while, and then my addiction started.
Okay.
So I was out there for about 20 years.
So like how old were you when that addiction started?
So I wasn't in high school or anything. I mean, I
Okay.
drank in high school and stuff like that, but I still
it was
I still
later in life,
graduated.
huh?
It was when I was around 22, 23 when I started using drugs, and then my life just went downhill after that.
Yeah, what was it? Do you know, like, what was it? Was it like, because peer pressure is kind of past that age. What was it that got you in? Like, you were looking for relief? And you don't have to answer if you don't want, but.
Gosh, I don't even know.
You don't even know?
It
Okay.
was that there was no responsibility that came along with it, but just using.
Oh, okay.
Like I didn't have any, you know, I had made a choice to stop working when I was living in Phoenix, and I moved to Phoenix for a little while. And I was just like, that first high just held on to me.
It
Just got
captured
me.
you, huh?
Just captured me.
And then after that, you said it was like 20 years as well? Like around.
So I finally found recovery. I finally had my aha moment when I was 42.
42,
You know,
okay.
I had my children, Ricky, Lexi, Frankie, Heavenly, Daisy, and then when I was 42, I was pregnant. I found myself pregnant, homeless again.
Okay.
And then my sister Veronica, she called me and she's like, Angel, because they had to put that baby with my mom too.
Yeah.
You know, and so Veronica was like, Angel, you need to become honest with yourself. So boom, that was my aha moment.
So really,
Yeah.
your sister called and she said, okay, it's time. And then that.
Because I thought everything was fine, but my world was on fire all around me.
So what was it, do you think, that made you feel like you were fine?
That because I stayed high.
You were just numb.
I was just numb to everything.
You were just numb, and so
one kid was in Phoenix with his dad. The other ones I left at my mom's house. You know, shout out to my mom for not giving them up to the system. You know, she really, really helped me with my children, and I dragged another one around with me in the streets.
Oh, wow.
And then I was pregnant again with my 6th child, and so my sister said, Angel, you need to become honest with yourself. And at that moment, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm being honest, but it planted a seed.
Something
it planted
happened.
A seed. So then I went to rehab. And
on your own volition, you went because, or were you?
I had a CPS case, and the
Okay.
baby, that newborn was with my mom. Even though my other kids were already almost adults, still living at my mom's, and so. I went. You know, the van came, and I didn't have to go. You know, I didn't catch any charges, but that CPS case, and so. But no, I had told myself, Angel, I'm not going to be 50 years old out there still getting high in an abandoned trailer somewhere.
Yeah.
So I have to do this for my kids, myself, and my mom, because she was raised all my kids. So I went, and I'm 7 years sober to this day. No relapses or anything. So.
What was it like in recovery and the rehab?
Oh gosh, the first week I was like, this is going to take forever. And then I seen somebody else had made this little art craft and they had put it on the wall and it said, it's only 28 days. And I'm like, so then I had to sleep it off for a while. I had to sleep, and I seen everybody out there at the group table, and I was
So
like.
you're saying sleep off the addiction?
Yeah,
like,
because I didn't go to detox.
You didn't? Okay.
But I seen everybody at the group table, and I was like, why can't I be like them? So they told me, Patrick, shout out to Patrick.
What up, Patrick?
Yeah, Patrick, he's like, Angel, go ahead, go sleep. So I slept for almost a week, and then boom, I was up and I was around that table and I had so much to say and so much to share.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So what
And
about?
then-
Okay.
Oh, I just wanted to give shout out to Jesus Christ too, because I couldn't have done it without him.
So religion played a part in it, or relationship, you would probably
Relationship
say,
with Jesus Christ
okay.
did, yeah.
And then how about you with the first day in rehab?
Man, it was the same thing. Well, actually, I did my detox inside of the jail. I detoxed in jail. And then by the time I got out, I was in custody for about 4 months by the time I got out to rehab. So when I got to rehab, I was just happy to be out of jail. You know, I got there with that mindset and just the knowing that I had to break the news to my mom and my family that I was, an addict. So, but yeah, it was the best thing that could have happened to me, for sure.
So did you take to it right away when you were in rehab?
I mean, I did. The staff there were amazing. You know, I got to one of the things that made me really grasp the concept was the fact that there was a counselor there that had this thing. He had a master's degree and everything, and he had the same past that I had, even darker.
Whoa,
so that
okay.
kind of, because
they gave you hope.
Yes, it sure did. It gave me hope, and that's where the seed got planted for me to come back to school as an NAU student now. You know, like that's how I always talk about that part, because there was 2 counselors that would go in, they would take turns, and there was one that had all of her degrees, and I wouldn't listen to her because we would ask her, like, what do you know about waking up getting sick? You know, like, you don't know what you had to have done. Like, she had the knowledge, but she didn't have that lived experience, so I wouldn't open up to her. But when this other gentleman came and had the past that I had, I was like all ears. And I was able to take all of that in, and that's where the seed of hope got planted too.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and I want to talk about your decision to go back to school when we come back, and then we're also going to talk about Recovery Palooza.
Yes.
That's the event coming up, right? Yes. And maybe some of the things that you guys offer there.
Of course.
We're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is funded by the Local News Initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona, the Scripps Howard Fund, and by generous local support. Thank you for supporting the next generation of public media. Learn more about the project and hear stories from emerging journalists at kawc.org/student newsroom.
Hey, I'm Jay with Mixtape, the radio show all about sharing music, bringing you songs from the days of cassette tapes and before the time of online. This week's episode of Mixtape, Sand Over the Hourglass. Songs about time. Does it decide everything, or can we escape it? We'll listen to artists exploring the theme of time. We'll hear songs by The Pretenders, Rancid, Sade, and Dire Straits. Join me Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Kofa Border Radio 94.7 FM or on the Kofa app.
You are tuned to 94.7 FM Kofa Border Radio. It's a sunny day in Yuma with an afternoon high expected of 86 degrees. Winds are out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour, partly cloudy tonight with a low of 59 degrees. Noland Arbaugh, a Yuma native, made history in 2024 as the first human recipient of the Neuralink brain implant after suffering a spinal injury in 2016 that left him paralyzed. Noland will visit Arizona Western College today, April 28th, from 3 p.m. until 4:30 in the Matador Activity Center of the Yuma campus, room 106. More details through the Arizona Western College news pages.
North End Community Center is now accepting registration for the Senior Season Pass program. Volunteer instructors are on site to assist with art programs that include wood carving, painting in all mediums, and more. Tuesday mornings through October. Information at yumaaz.gov under Parks and Recreation.
KOFA Border Radio doesn't sound like any other radio station in Yuma. We are a non-commercial source for music from around the world, across the decades, and local artists. Our hosts are volunteers. If you would like to get involved, send an email to music@borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here with Berenice and Angel from TLCR, and we got to the point of the story. You mentioned that you started to go to school, Berenice?
I did. I made that decision to come back to school, and it was intimidating.
Yeah.
It was intimidating, you know, all the new technology. The last time I was in school when I made the decision to come back was like 20-some years, you know, so all this Canva stuff and log into this and that. I'm like, I remember writing papers on paper, you know, and just having to learn all the technology that's here.
What did you go to school for?
I'm studying to be a social worker.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to AWC. I got my associates in social work.
Well, AWC, shout out, you know. Yeah.
Yes, and right now I'm a lumberjack. Go Lumberjacks. I'm doing the School of Social Work here at NAU.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're intimidating. So what made you press past that intimidation?
Man, just my hunger for wanting to help people in different capacities, wanting to go and show individuals that that don't let your past define you, wanting to let individuals know that even though anybody could be a convicted felon and there's still chances, we still have a time to go back and make up for it, and we are given opportunities.
Yeah, so then you said you're going to school, technology's different,
Yes.
you're not used to it, but then how long did it take you to kind of adapt?
It took me probably a little bit, maybe like 6 weeks.
6 weeks, okay.
Yeah, and I'm glad I have teenagers at the house because they were such a huge help that, oh, Mom, look, I'm going to show you. And they were able to help me how to get on there quickly, too.
I took some classes, too.
Oh, okay, so all right,
Yeah.
perfect. So what prompted you to go back to school, and what classes?
I did some prereqs for the radiology course, the
Okay.
radiology certificate, but so I would always, when I would introduce myself in the discussions to the professors, I would say, hey, I graduated in 94 and I haven't been in any school setting since then.
Yeah.
But they were all very understanding at AWC, and it took me like a couple weeks to get used to it. It's pretty simple.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it is.
I work here, right? I'm here, and I'm still intimidated to go. So it's like, you guys are brave, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
I graduated in 98, so it's been a
Okay.
long time for me as
Yes.
well. But so both of you had a mission. You had something deeper,
Yes.
something more important that caused you to press past that intimidation
Yes.
and that learning curve.
Yes.
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 And that's what I always say. Like, if only I would have done this when I was in my 20s, but God had a different path for me. So, but so that's okay.
So in recovery or detoxing, was it a part of this organization, or is this something that came later? Were you in there like participating in
As a member.
as a member?
for
Yeah.
me, like when I got
Okay.
released from jail, I had another rehab from Yuma pick me up.
Okay.
And they took me there. But then after that is when I enrolled myself into TLCR to go
Okay.
after that peer support certification.
Okay, so both of you. All right. So then, how long have you been there?
I am going on 7 years.
And how long?
6 years.
6 years. Oh, okay, so you guys known each other for quite some time
yes.
now. Oh, very cool. So then, what attracted you to this organization particularly?
So for me, what attracted me to that organization was giving another opportunity. For me, having had everybody lost hope and trust in me, just the fact that there was somebody out there that was willing to give me that chance, I ran with it and I took it. So that's what, attracted me to the program, knowing that there's more people out there with the same experience that I went through. And if they can do it, why the heck can I do it? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
just wanted to help out people, give back to the community, because everything I went through, I just wanted to be able to give back to the community, help out people like single moms maybe that want to get their kids back and just don't know how. So I just wanted to help out people.
Is it because you wanted to help out? Because it was like maybe partly to do with your past of like kind of taking for so long, and then not being a part of that, it felt like you want to give back and do right?
Yeah, I believe so. And also, like the experience that we went through in the streets, you can't go to school for that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of lived experience, that we could just either have go to waste or we can help people.
I think I was talking off air about growing up in Okietown, and one of the OGs from there, Ruben Soto, shout out to Ruben, or AKA Psycho from Okietown. So he's an OG. So I was a kid, and he was the one cruising around on the beach cruiser up and down Okietown, and he was like the veterano and everything. But now he's like a super inspiration, and he's always
great.
on there talking about going to church, his life, and just every day he tags me like something inspirational that he wants to share. And I've talked to him about it. It's like, so why do you do this? And it's because he felt like he did dirt for so long. He did bad. He wants to do good and do right by everybody now.
Yes.
And it's really cool to see. And I'm going to eventually get him on the show and to talk about it. But it sounds like similar paths for both
Right.
of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So can you tell us a little bit about what happens at your organization?
So we help individuals that are coming out of jail that are either struggling with mental challenges or through the system. A lot of the times, 95% of the people that come in through our doors, they have lost everything already due to choices that were made, and so we coordinate plans with the jails, and we help people come out of the jail system.
So you coordinate it as like before they're coming out, like they're
There's
coming out.
release plans that take
okay.
place.
So okay.
Yeah. So there's
have
release plans. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we help the individuals. Sometimes they come out with no IDs, with nothing, and no vehicle, and
Those
we help
documents are
people.
important.
Yeah, and we help people get everything back from scratch. We help everybody transition back into the community. Yeah.
So are people typically willing, or is there like a fight sometimes, or what is it? Because it's probably different case by case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's court ordered, people that come in because they have to for their probation. But eventually, that's one of the best things about working there too. You see the light come on in people's eyes.
Yeah.
Because it might be because the court says they have to be there in the beginning, but then after they get into it and everything, they're like, hey, I'm getting my life back, and that light comes back on in their eyes, and they start really doing it on their own, not because the court tells them to.
Yeah, and so I've been there, and I've witnessed graduations. I've had friends that have been a part of that, and I've gone to a different, maybe like 2 or 3 graduations and stuff, and supported people through that. And so the people, it really starts to click, right?
Yes,
it's like, okay, maybe court ordered at first, but once they get familiar with the program and familiar with everybody, it's like, okay, I want to walk this different path.
And some people do come in on their own. They're ready for a change, and they know they need help, so they come in and they ask for that help.
So maybe just like somebody off of the street can walk by? And,
absolutely. We're open every day of the year. We don't close on holidays or nothing. We stay open during.
So is this funded through grants, or is there like community donations, a little bit of both? How does that work?
It's an LLC.
Okay.
It's an LLC business. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so it's a actual business, not a nonprofit. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, then you can anybody can come in, and what is the first thing that you do with somebody? Help them get their documents? Is that like usually, unless they, maybe they have them already, but what's the first step?
So before anything like that, everybody that comes in through our doors, we have to make sure that they do have access insurance.
Okay.
Because that's how we do our billing,
gotcha.
access insurance. Yes. So, once we get all that stuff situated, we
do an assessment, and they build their own service plan on what help they need.
And I know there was a restaurant attached to it, or like
our training facility.
Turtle Bay Cafe. Woo!
Yeah. So is that still there?
That's still there.
And then you kind of teach people how to get back into society and serve and stuff, right? On the job training. How's that going?
That's going really great. They get skill. They learn how to be in a restaurant setting, and they take orders. They cook. There's a hostess, and it's not open to the public, but open to
other members, right?
Yeah.
They go in, so they kind of serve each other.
Yes. And they get a food handler's card at the end of the training. It's a 6-week training that they do, and they get their food handler's card right there, so they're able to use that.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I've seen you guys, and we're going to talk about the main event here that's coming up, but you guys put on a lot of events, right?
Yes,
there's
we
usually
do.
I don't know if there's ice cream involved or something. Yeah, you have
pizza, coffee,
right?
All kinds of stuff.
And everybody's invited to that, right?
Yes,
that's for everybody. So tell me a little bit about some of those events.
Yeah, so every first Saturday of the month, we do, except for this Saturday, of course, because we have our other event, but every first Saturday of the month, we do have a carnival, and that's from 11 to 1. Pretty much we just deck out the whole room, and we invite people. We cook food, prizes for the kiddos. On the second Tuesday of the month, we do pizza party. We invite everybody to go have pizza with us. And third Friday, we do ice cream social, And then on the last Saturday of the month, we do karaoke. And then we do have on the first Wednesday of the month, that's for anybody out there in the community that is that wants to connect with anybody like probation officers, case managers, or whatever. We do a coffee and donuts event, and it's just like a fellowship mingling event for everybody to trade business cards and. Yeah.
So why is it important to have these events?
Oh, it's super important because you get to connect with individuals, and you get to learn about what they're doing and what step they are in their life, whether it's the members or other agencies. It's just about getting to know each other, letting them know that it's fun.
Also for the community events, the ice cream, the pizza, the carnival, for people in recovery that are in the program to bring their families, and so they can see smiles on their face and look, hey, I'm really doing it.
Yeah.
And just showing them what TLCR is all about, and that they do matter, and their families, and they were out in the maybe streets. I know I was out in the streets for a long time, and when I finally got back with my family, I wanted to do fun things with them, and so that's what those events are for. They can
Very cool. So then they can participate, see, and then seeing is believing too, right? Because with family, they start to kind of so much. Well, that's just them. You write that person off. Maybe they've burned you a few times, but then to be able to see them in action, actually growing and taking part in things, it's like, okay, now I see it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You got to build that trust again, too.
Build that trust. Yeah, very important. So tell us about this special event that's coming up this Saturday.
Yes, guys. So this Saturday, we have our 14th annual Recovery Palooza, which is going to take place at Carver Park. We're going to be there from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I think we have a total of 50 agencies that are going to be participating that day. We're going to have free haircuts. We're going to have free food. We're going to have lots of raffle prizes. We're going to have the 4 local marching bands out there. They're going to be performing for us as well, and it's just a celebration. It's a huge celebration to celebrate mental health and the stigma that's attached to it. You know, not a lot of people are comfortable with talking about mental health, so this is just a place where the community can go and learn about what's out in the community, because mental health can be in any, whether through art, drawing, or animals or whatever. You know, so it's
great music by DJ Bart, my brother Anthony. Woo!
Oh, okay. What's up, DJ Anthony? Right? Okay.
He you know, shout out to him. He gave me the confidence to show up today and to this interview.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
I was nervous.
No, don't be nervous. We're fine here.
So,
I know.
But so, okay, go ahead.
So please let our listeners and viewers know how they can get more information on the Transitional Living Center Recovery, like a website, a phone number, social.
We have Instagram and Facebook, and you guys want to ever call if any questions or anything, the number that you guys can leave a message to or call us is at 928-261-8668, or you guys could reach me directly at 928-581-6506. I always answer my phone.
And my phone number is 928-366-7461.
All right, and then where are you guys located in Yuma? Go ahead and
1340 South 4th Avenue.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being with us. I really appreciate it. Thank you for, it's really amazing to hear these stories. And then not only being a recipient, you're taking part of the programs, you're also out there helping people transition into that new life and hopefully continue on that path.
Yes.
So thank you. Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out.
Melissa. Shout out to my bestie Melissa, who's watching and who prayed with me this morning.
All right. Shout out to everyone out there. And with that, it's time for a break. We're going to be back with the new principal of Yuma High School. Who is it? You're just going to have to wait to find out. Right after this, you're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
KAWC and Border Radio are sponsors of the Village Jazz Series, concluding the 2026 season this Thursday evening from 6 to 8 at Yuma Palms Regional Center. As the traditional finale of the series, the Yuma Jazz Company performs with surprised guests. Guests should bring their own seating. More under Village Jazz at yumajazz.com.
For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon. 15 Arizona Western College women's and men's soccer players signed their letters of intent this past week to play at four-year colleges and universities. The Matadors join other teammates who have already signed with four-year schools and have left Yuma for their new teams. The Lady Matadors who have already joined their new schools include Asa Yamazaki with UCLA and Linka Ono with LSU. The Lady Matadors who signed Thursday include Juliana Negrete Felix with New Mexico State, and three players with Nevada Reno, Valeria Ramon, Reika Yuba, and Ayan Hernandez. Kay Yaneda signed with Utah State. She was one of 11 players invited to train with Bay FC of the National Women's Soccer League recently. For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Join me for Bonus Smiles, the show sharing the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Why? Because the rando cheering you on at a mile 77 aid station is the same kind of person who supports local public radio. Join us every Saturday at 5 a.m. on KOFA at 94.7 FM for stories that soothe and jams that power long runs.
Amberley's Place presents the 5th annual Desert Coast Growers Golf Tournament on Friday, May 1st at Yuma Golf and Country Club. This benefit event supports victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and abuse in the community. Event details and registration information on the Amberley's Place Facebook page.
K-pop foodie fans, we're all about food this week on K-pop for Border. Listen in for K-pop songs about ice cream, coffee, and spaghetti. K-pop for Border airs on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on Kofa Radio. Stream the show on KAWC's app or website, or follow K-pop for Border Facebook or Instagram for the artists and playlists.
I use KEWC almost on a daily basis in my car. It's the background for chores around my house. And I go to the website and look for stories that are of interest, and I listen to podcasts. I look to the news on NPR because I'm looking for something beyond the headline or a soundbite or a gotcha moment. I really want news that shows me sort of the multiple dimensions of a story, that seeks information from multiple sources and doesn't tell me how to think. It just presents the issues, and I really appreciate that. Being a sustaining member of a service like KAWC takes the mystery out of it for me. So I know that I am supporting every month. I also know that I don't have to remember to sit down and write a check at the end of the year or a budget for a check at the end of the year, right? It's kind of coming out of my account every month, and that makes me feel a little bit like I'm part of the team. I'm Lori Stoft from Arizona Western College, and I'm a proud supporter of KAWC Yuma.
Yuma Territorial Prison hosts Paranormal Hotspots Night in Prison, Saturday, May 9th from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Guests will experience an after-hours paranormal investigation inside the century-old cell block where history and mysteries collide. Space is limited. Details and information at yumaprison.org/events.
Run by music lovers like yourselves, KOFA Border Radio has what you need. A non-commercial home filled with music heard from all over the world. Tune in at 94.7 FM, 1320 AM on the KOFA app or at borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by Marci Sanchez, the incoming principal for Yuma High School. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And so, okay, we'd like to get to know our guests. You said you were watching out in the lobby. You kind of see how it goes. We like to know, are you from Yuma? Or
I am born and raised.
Wow, three out of all the guests. Yeah, 3 for 3. We're born and raised. Okay.
Yeah, the ladies did a little shout out to Yuma High once they heard I was incoming. So it's always fun to see. I grew up here. I graduated from Yuma High.
What neighborhood did you grow up? Like what area?
So like right Inca Lanes was my backyard.
Okay.
So yeah. So off of 16th Street. 15th Street was we were the Calle 15, 15th Street kids.
There you go.
Kickball and football in the streets.
Very
and
cool.
You run inside when the lights come out. So
yeah. Oh, cool. So you grew up here in Yuma. Did you like it?
I loved it. I always, for me, our family was really active either at the sand dunes or the river. I grew up playing softball. So it just, Bobby Sox back in the day. And so grew up, I have a big family here. So I always joke we're like a bunch of little wolf packs and things like that.
So who's your family? Do you have like...
my dad's side is the Marcus family and my mom's side's the Pancrazi family.
Oh,
and so,
okay.
Yeah. So it's huge. It's a huge family.
The Pancrazis, I think. So you're related to like all the notable ones?
Lynn Pancrazi, Mike Pancrazi, So they're educators. So I have cousins who are in education, and there seems to be pockets even on my dad's side where there's some realm of working in a system of education, whether it's finance, office, or teaching. So it's just been in my blood.
Okay, so when you're out kicking the ball around and 15th, were you into education? Did you always want to be an educator?
So, I always wanted to play sports. I didn't know what I wanted to do. My uncle was a health teacher, and so I kind of like followed his footsteps.
So he taught health where at?
At Yuma High.
At Yuma High?
Yeah,
okay.
He actually taught at Yuma High too. And so when I went to school, I actually played softball out here. It was I got a call
AWC?
at AWC.
Shout out to AWC.
Shout out to the Matadors. Yep. So I got a call from a former softball player, and she's like, "Hey, they're looking for girls to play out here." And I'm like, "All right, let's go." So that kind of got my foot into, all right, I'm going to keep pursuing, education. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I'm like, I want to work with kids. I wanted to coach. So I ended up going into PE and health and started off as a PE teacher and a coach. And
So where did you start that at?
So I got my AA here.
Okay.
And then I went to, at the time, they didn't offer post-secondary, which is high school, here at NAU. So I had to go to Flagstaff. So then I finished out there in Flag for my last 3 years. Yeah. So
where did you start school wise? Like what school did you work for?
Oh gosh, my first school here in Yuma was San Luis. I was a teacher at San Luis High School.
Okay, and in the health and PE?
I taught PE and health, and I started at San Luis High School. I was there for until 2011, and then I became the athletic director at COFA. I was there, and then I went back to San Luis and became the activity director. I moved to Phoenix for a little bit. I met a boy, and we moved to Phoenix, and there was just a calling for me to come back. I've moved away from Yuma twice, and I'm just a Yuma girl. Something's always brought me back, and I just for me, just love working with the kids, and I always compared where I was at to the district here, and just kind of, we're a small community, and we have to problem solve, whereas in the larger communities, it's easy to be like, okay, well, there's another school down the street, or check this place out. In Yuma, you have to think outside the box. And so I've always appreciated that. And that's always been my thought process. And our job is to keep our kids in school, right? Not to find ways to take them out of school. So I missed that. And so it just brought me back to Yuma, and then I became the assistant principal over academics and special education. So I've been at Yuma High for the last 4 years.
Okay, so you've been there, so you kind of know it. I just got to ask, so what's it like teaching PE? Because that seems like the fun one, right? That seems like you get to be the fun teacher and do.
I have to tell you a funny story, though, because this is the rookie part of me coming in, right? So I was offered to teach PE too, and I'm like, this is amazing. These are kids that love PE so much. They want it a second time, right? Like so that's why I went in, finding out that these are the kids that actually failed PE, and I had to start up. But
how do you fail PE?
just not doing anything.
Don't run the laps.
Yeah, but I mean, I loved it. I love being active, and even teaching health. You can relate it to anything going on in life, and so it just, to me, it was a lot of fun, but a lot of structure, because whether I've taught it from elementary even to high school, when you're outside four walls, kids have a different view of what the classroom is, right? And so just making sure we're doing fun things, but there's rules, right? There's expectations, there's procedures that have to be followed, and that's kind of stemmed in. And then once that happens, it's just kind of finding.
So I got to ask real quick, what about the ones that failed?
Yeah.
So what do you do with that? Because I'll say, so I failed, right?
Okay.
I hated to run the mile. They're like, you got to run a mile. It's like, I walk. I love to walk.
Yeah.
I'm a walker, but I'm not going to run. I ran once and I didn't like it. And I said, I'm not doing this again.
Right.
So what do you do with that?
So for me, it's about, it's individual progress. Yes, it's a class, but what's the individual progress? Because you can have an athlete who runs a mile in 5 minutes, but are they really pushing themselves, right? So for you, your rubric might look a little bit different than the other person. And so it's really just finding the niche. And I would always tell them, people pay for this. People pay for a trainer. People pay, for someone to talk to them about nutrition, and really just finding something that they're fascinated in. If it's me having to connect it to real world experiences or another class, that's just kind of how I got their motivation in it. Or even just what's your goal? Let me help you with your goal. Let's set a goal.
Yeah,
and let's go that way, because I don't expect anyone to run a mile right away, but let's start walking. That's okay too. You're moving.
Yeah, and so that's pretty cool to hear. I don't think everybody has that concept about it, right? So I hated PE, not because I didn't like to be outside. I love to be outside, but I was also in special education, and my special education, the reason why I do a radio is because that's what I'm good at, talking.
Right.
I have a disconnect with my hands.
Yeah.
I can't do certain things. I can't even, it took me, till I was 13 to learn how to write. So I hated PE because I wasn't good at anything.
Right.
I couldn't throw a ball. I couldn't do this stuff. And, you get made fun of and this and that. So I was just I just give up. So I just tell the teachers are going and I'm not doing any of that because I'm not going to face that humiliation.
Right.
A lot of them didn't know what to do with that.
Right.
Right. They didn't, they'd get mad. And I was like, you get mad all you want. I'm not doing this.
Right. Well, for me, when I talk about procedures too, I always feel that kids aren't going to thrive unless they feel safe. And so it does take a moment and time to really have those conversations with what does that look like in a classroom? What does that feel like? And so that was something I was really strict upon in my class, because I always feel like, even playing sports, sometimes you're competing against your really good friends, but competition means you can cheer the other person on as well. And in that, so if there were, let's just say it was a softball unit, okay? And I would group kids accordingly based on levels, but then also like peer coaches. So I would be like, okay, hey, you know, so-and-so's having a difficult time throwing. Like, I want you to show them what you do, and like, let's motivate them. And so I kind of put them in that, like, hey, you're my helper, and like, we're going to help this kiddo and make sure that they feel successful. Because once you feel success, or once you're able to laugh or learn from your mistakes, it's okay if you didn't throw the ball right, because it's like you're learning, and it's
You're
like, oh my
learning.
gosh, my ball just went all the way to the left. It's okay, like, pick it up and let's try it again.
It changes your perspective on it, right?
100%,
And then
yeah.
and that confidence builds gradually.
And you have to really teach that to kids, I feel like. You have to teach just the proper etiquette and language, and it's okay to agree, disagree. We all have different types. We all have different abilities, right? And so I feel like it's important for anyone, but especially in education, because we see kids most of the day, to continue those processes and procedures so that it becomes natural, and then it's a life skill.
Absolutely. So then how do you, it sounds like, you know, fun in the PE. How do you take that to the classroom and have your, I guess, the teachers and everybody under you kind of have that same mindset?
So to me, I feel like it's building capacity, and like as in a leadership role, even when I was teaching, I was an instructional learner, and that's me going into classrooms and, you know, observing other teachers and just building that capacity on, especially in my content or my department. What does that, again, I always say, what does that look like, feel like, sound like? But just like I had conversations with students, sometimes I'm having those same conversations with adults, and like, okay, this is what we can do to build trust, and this is what we can do, because there are students that they want to hide and they don't want to be called on, and they don't. So what can we do to help them feel safe in the classroom to at least try? And not everybody likes English, not everybody likes math, but let's find some sort of connection to where they're at least trying to complete the standard or the assessment, whatever needs to be done. Because once we get that, we know how to come in and support.
Going off of that, I want to ask, because I taught for 1 year. I taught freshman English at San Luis High School. You were at San Luis High School. You were at COFA, which until they opened the high school in Somerton was where Somerton kids would go.
Yes.
And so every school community, every campus is different. What can you say about South County and working in San Luis and that community there, and maybe also COFA?
So, you know, I think obviously I come from a Latina community too. You know, I feel like there is a sense of reverence, if that makes sense, with the families. You know, in Spanish they say maestra. When you translate it to English, it's teacher. Teacher sounds like teacher, but in Spanish it's a title, you know, like doña, you know. And so the kids are so kind and loving, respectful, opening doors for you, saying good morning. It's typical to just, you know, a hug, a high five, you know, a fist pump, but it's a very close-knit community, a very proud community. And I think because it's in a smaller sector, which I feel like Yuma, for me growing up, was small too, you know, but it's a smaller community, and I feel like it's also an opportunity for, I realize in that community, a lot of students didn't see outside of San Luis or Somerton, and they didn't know the possibilities of being outside of that. So I even had conversations with parents with kids that earn full ride scholarships, and they were nervous to send their kid off to Tucson, right? Yeah. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. So I feel like it's such a tight knit that it's just expanding on what that opportunity looks like for the family, because it's different.
Yeah,
it's really different.
Very much so, because and shout out to San Luis High School, because I taught there, but I also know that that's one of the highest, maybe has the highest percentage of college of students who go to 4-year colleges or come to AWC.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so they either go to AWC, and we have a lot from San Luis at the San Luis campus,
right
or
now.
here.
I love it.
Yeah, or they go to University of Arizona, Arizona State, or another state school.
Yeah, that is something we're so proud of our collaboration with AWC, because the opportunities to attend college is right there. I mean, we have the resources, and the collaboration between our district and AWC makes it possible for our kids to see what it's like to be on a college campus or take a college course on our campus. So it's wonderful opportunities for all of our kids. But yeah, I love my time down at San Luis. I love it.
Yeah, so we got to take a quick break, and then we're going to come on the other side of it and talk about your new role, and you're excited about it, and maybe some things you want to accomplish.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
This is folk singer Michael Jonathan. Join us on Wood Songs this week. Ben Sollee, one of America's premier cellists and songwriters, and Scott T. Smith. He's opening for Tyler Childers around the country. Plus, an amazing Wood Songs kid. All this and more on this week's broadcast of the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
This evening at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM. Lower Arizona desert highs expected to remain under 90 for a few days in Quartzsite, Parker, and Yuma. Today, it'll be sunny with a high near 86 degrees. Winds out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. Calm winds tonight under partly cloudy skies with the low between 55 and 59 degrees.
KAWC invites you to Spirited Discussions, looking back, looking forward, at 5 p.m. Tuesday, May 12th at the Black Box Theater in downtown Yuma. Help us thank Dave Reek ahead of his retirement as Alexandra Rangel hosts a live conversation on 20 years of leadership and what lies ahead. More at kawc.org.
Tuned in to Border Radio KOFA. We are your local public radio station that celebrates the power of music to bring people together. You can see our playlists, listen to our live stream, and listen to past programs on demand on the KOFA app. Find it at your favorite app store.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here with Marci Sanchez, the incoming principal of Yuma High School. And so you were 4 years, you said, the assistant principal. Did you like that so much that you said, I want to take over, and you told the principal, you got to leave, this is my job, or what happened?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it happened.
Okay, cool. I like that.
No. So the opportunity arose, and I had athletics activities, and then at Yuma High, academics and special education under my belt. I'm like, I feel ready. Like, I feel ready to lead. So I threw my hat in the ring, and I'm like, I'm Yuma High. Like, I've from there, it's full circle, and I've been there for the last 4 years, and I'm like, I'm just going to give it a shot. And
so did he retire, or he or she, whoever was there?
Actually, there was an opportunity for him to move to Vista. So he will Mr. Fritz will be transferring over to Vista High School.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll now be overseeing Yuma High.
So just a quick backstory on me. So I went to Vista back when Tom Hurt was there.
Yes.
And I've had Tom on my show. When I went to Vista, because I was in special education, but when I went there was no special education there. However, when I went to Vista, I took regular courses, and I finally got A's and B's because they did something called block scheduling. So I only took 2 classes a day, and I was able to 1 hour learn. And then the second hour, I did all the homework.
Yeah.
Because I would tell my teachers, I was like, I'm not doing any homework. I can't. It's pure chaos at my house. You have no idea. It's not going to happen. Yeah. So I'm not going to do it. I would just tell them straight up, it's not happening. So I go to Vista my senior year because my mom's like, you're going to graduate. You got to do whatever you got to do. Go graduate. I went there, and I remember like, wow, I'm getting A's and B's. This is weird. Like, I've never seen this before. And so I thank Tom for that. I actually went to the principal's office for the first time under good circumstances. And he was actually there with Chip Snyder in the office who was my principal at KOFA. Yes. And then so I went in there, and I just thanked him, and I got to have him on the show. But so Vista holds a special place in my heart as well.
Way to go, Coach Hurt. Yep. He was a teacher and coach at Yuma High when I was there in the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So you talked about 2 OGs, amazing educators, but agree, like, sometimes we have to modify plans to what best fits our students to make them
and I was
successful.
lucky, I was, to take that. I don't think they do that anymore over there. Well, actually, I know they don't do that at Vista anymore. I think when Tom went to Yuma Catholic, they did it. But it really worked for me because, homework at my house was not an option. I had 3 younger sisters. Both of my parents worked. So it wasn't like, hey, go ask your parents for help. It's like, well, that's not happening. So
yeah, they do have a sort of a block schedule system at Vista. So it is a great opportunity for alternative programs.
All right. So then, he moved to Vista. Then you said, I'm ready.
Ready.
What are you ready for?
So honestly, like, the last 2 years, I've been trying to build like a community open house. Like for me, my I'm 90s chick too, but my hashtag, kids these days, like, what kids are doing amazing things at Yuma High. They're doing amazing things, and I want people to see that. It's been, when you think about the last time you've stepped on a high school campus, I want to promote Yuma High. I want everyone to see the wonderful programs and what our kids are actually doing. So for me, that's my goal, is the community exposure for Yuma. We're the longest, running school, and that comes with commitment and purpose, and I understand that. So for me, it's just advocating for our school and advocating for our kids, because there's just our CTE programs, our special education programs are just really, really trailblazing. And
can you tell me a little bit about each program?
Yes. So our CTE, our kids have an opportunity. So our mission is college, career, community prepared. So you're walking away with a plan. CTE, we have medical assisting, welding. Our kids are getting certified and placing in state competitions for welding. We have auto, culinary, law and public safety. We have an Army JROTC program and a business program that our students are excelling in. Our special education program, we have a wonderful instructional leader right now who's an actual psychologist as well. So we have individual plans for our students with para support in that. And I think the rock star hub of our campus are our counselors. They're the ones that are walking the walk when it comes to making sure that our students are ready for college or a plan, right? And so the scholarships, again, like I said, the collaboration with AWC, we have other colleges that come to our campus to make sure that we're connecting with each individual kid. Our right now, our enrollment is a little less than 1,000. And I feel that it's a special opportunity we get to know our kids individually. So we get to see, oh, you're walking late to class, Johnny. Let's go. Like, it's like, oh, they know me by my name. So, and I love it.
And that makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely. Or, great game last night, Jack. Way to go. I feel like there's a lot of personalization going on our campus, and I see things on Facebook like, why don't they serve this kind of lunch, or why aren't we doing this? And I want to open, that to the community. Like, come check us out. Like, we have tours. You're more than welcome to come check, our campus out to see what we're doing and see what kids are doing. Because I think it's important. A lot of times, yes, their kids are independent and they're trying to make their own choices, but it's still important for the families to be involved in that, right? Like, you want to know what's going on,
right?
Because that's when their minds are molded the most, right? Or the influence of others. And so you still want to be that little person on the shoulder to make sure that there's that support there. And I love building those relationships with families, because then the kids see we're a team and we do have a plan, and we're going to commit to it together and hold that expectation for you.
And we know that the alumni of Yuma High are very proud criminals.
Oh, yeah.
very proud to be Yuma criminals.
Proud. Anytime I wear a criminal shirt, like if I'm in the airport or out of town, someone recognizes the crim head. So that is for me the pride and importance that I feel in that, and I'm so happy that it's come around full circle.
So it's the oldest institution, probably the oldest building. Has it been renovated much?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Oh yeah. It's changed. I mean, I graduated in '92. It's changed from there. I have people that have graduated in like 2010 and like, oh my gosh, this is so different. So yes, there's been a lot of renovations. We have great science labs was the latest one, the renovation that took place. But the facilities, the upkeep, we have a great team. I mean, our campus looks amazing.
Very cool. Yeah. So my grandmother used to work there, and so that was the last time I've been there. But I was small. I was real young when she worked there in the front office. So it's been years. But I have seen KOFA, and I have seen how much they've changed. So it's like similar at Yuma.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I love it when sometimes I'll lead a tour, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, the bookstore used to be over here in the main." I'm like, I had no idea. So I just love hearing stories about that. But I think that's what's the rich history about it, right?
So what is one thing you really want to accomplish in this term?
For me, what I want to accomplish really is, again, like I said, just the community promotion in the sense of I want everyone to be aware of what we're doing. We have an amazing district. And of course, Yuma High is my school, but our district in general is what we do for our kids. And I want our community to see that and be a part of it and support however they can.
Right on. Do you guys have an Instagram page where you guys highlight stuff?
We do. We have both. It's Yuma High School. We have Instagram and Facebook. There's also a QR code if people want to take tours and contact information, merch available. school. Like there's everything's on there. Clubs, whatever clubs or athletics are promoting, academics, it's all on there.
All right. And one last thing.
Sure.
What's your start date? When do you officially?
Officially July 1st.
July 1st.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Yes,
so
right around
yeah.
the corner.
And it sounds like you're excited about it. So
I
we
am.
wish you the best of luck
Thank
with
you.
everything you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you so much. And with that, yeah, it's time for the legal read. I don't hear the music yet, but I'm sure it's somewhere. What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. Want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornelas, Juan Garcia, Dave Rica, and Cecilia.
You can find out more about KOFA at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. Stay tuned for KOFA's Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's program, we have Elise Rust. Wait, who's that? All right, go.
You can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
And if you want to be on this show, you could be highlighted on the show. You have a story to tell. You go to whatsupyuma.biz. That's whatsupyuma.biz. Click that radio link and then click book me and you could be on this show. Thank you guys for listening. And once again, good luck in everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. See you guys tomorrow.